Atlanta, Georgia, just hours before the peach drop downtown that'll ring in the new year. And we come to the Georgia Dome, home to the Chick-fil-A Bowl for 20 seasons. Last year, the Auburn Tigers won it all. A perfect season, a BCS championship, a National Coach of the Year, and a Heisman Trophy. Year 3 of the Gene Chizik era has been more of a struggle, a rebuilding year that's seen 5 losses, albeit to top 15 teams. And with all SEC tailback Michael Dyer suspended, the offense will rest on the shoulders of Clint Mosley tonight. Virginia was the surprise of the ACC in 2011. Under Conference Coach of the Year Mike London, there's been a football resurgence in Charlottesville, with the Cavaliers vastly improved on both sides of the ball, led by Perry Jones and an excellent ground game. Tonight, they clash, the ACC and the SEC, in the Chick-fil-A Bowl next. And we welcome you to the 44th annual Chick-fil-A Bowl from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. And our matchup, as has been the case several years, the ACC and the SEC getting together, Virginia and number 25 Auburn. Welcome to Atlanta, everybody, and Happy New Year. Brad Nussler along with Todd Blackledge. Partner, you and Holly and I started the football season here on the Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic. We're set to send out 2011 in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. And for the Virginia Cavaliers, what a season it's been. They were picked 5th in the Coastal Division of the ACC. They were 1 game away from playing for the ACC Championship.
Yeah, great job by Mike London and his staff going from 4-8 to 8-4. You know, London's known as a motivator, as a team builder, and one thing that really stood out, 4 of their 8 wins were decided in the final seconds. That shows a team that's really all in.
We talked about Auburn having 5 losses, all to tough SEC teams, obviously. And there's been a lot of distractions now leading up to this bowl game.
Yeah, very interesting to see how they'll respond. You know, when you go back to the end of the season, first of all, their defensive coordinator, Ted Ruth, left for a similar position at Central Florida. That means Gene Chizik will not only be the head coach, he'll be the defensive coordinator tonight. Michael Dyer, their best offensive player, ran for over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, was suspended for violation of team rules. He's not here. They've got to adjust to that. And then their offensive coordinator, Gus Malzahn, is here. Will call the game, but shortly after this game, he'll take off to be the head coach at Arkansas State. Wondering how Auburn will handle all those distractions tonight.
And Virginia, how will they handle some key players, especially on defense, not being in the game tonight?
Yeah, 2 critical losses. Their middle linebacker, Steve Greer, their leading tackler, not able to play. Also, their top cornerback, Chase Minifield, a 5th-year senior, both sustained knee injuries in the practice in Charlottesville leading up to the bowl. For Auburn, they get their best receiver back, Emory Blake. We had Auburn twice this year, never got to see him play. They're a different team when he's in the lineup.
Well, as you can see behind us, you've heard of raining cats and dogs. It's raining cows inside the Georgia Dome. We'll check in with Holly and we'll kick it off when we come back. Just about set for the kickoff of the Chick-fil-A Classic. First, we check in the 3rd member of our team. We talked about the suspension of Michael Dyer. That changes things, Holly, for what Auburn does.
That's right. You don't just lose a 1,000-yard rusher and not skip a beat, but what Auburn will do is try to use Ontario McCaleb. He's a speed guy. They'll ask him to do a few more things, but also look for freshman Trey Mason. He's only had 19 attempts rushing this season, but they'll ask him to do the stuff Michael Dyer did. Tough stuff up in between the tackles. And then look for more of Kyle Frazier. He's the 3rd-string quarterback, but he's their run game in the quarterback position. So the coaches say we'll see more of him. They're going to have to be creative to find ways to run the football tonight without Michael Dyer.
All right, Holly, thank you. As we're just about set for the 44th Chick-fil-A Bowl. Interesting matchup. Last year, Gene Chizik was the National Coach of the Year. And this year, 7-5 and calling the defensive shots tonight as the coordinator. And on the other side, the ACC Coach of the Year this season in Mike London, who's done a remarkable job in just his 2nd season in Charlottesville. Virginia won the toss. They want the football. So Cody Parkey will park it right there on the tee. Alex Shepard is back deep for the Cavaliers, wearing orange helmets for the first time since 1978. A little different look for the Cavaliers tonight.
Cody Parkey, one of the best in the country at kicking the ball out of the end zone. 34 touchbacks, the result of his kickoff. So that's been a real strength of this Auburn team.
2nd in the conference and 3rd in the country in that capacity. There's a lot of blue and orange in this building tonight. And here we go. And the kick is deep, and as Todd said, you're not going to return those kind. So the Cavaliers will start offensively at their own 20-yard line. And that means Michael Rocco, sophomore out of Lynchburg, Virginia. And he's had a pretty solid campaign, and you know his daddy well, Todd.
Well, and his dad played with me at Penn State, Frank Rocco, and that was also his high school coach at Liberty Christian Academy in Lynchburg. And he's a very knowledgeable guy. He grew up around the game. He understands it, and I think he got better as the season went along.
Already a noisy Georgia Dome. Play action for Rocco on a bootleg. He's got a man wide open, but falling down is his tight end, Colter Phillips. Phillips would have had a big gainer out of that had he kept his footing.
I think we'll see a lot of misdirection out of the Virginia offense. They know they don't have the skill athletes to maybe just run and get separation and get open, but they respect the fast flow tendencies of this Auburn defense, and misdirection will help them.
3 wide receivers set for the Cavaliers. They show a lot of different looks offensively. They fake the end around. They give it to Jones, trying to break tackles. Did break a couple, and he got about a yard out of nothing. McNeil made the stop from the secondary. So that brings up the opening 3rd down of the Knights, and the Cavaliers under 40% on the year on their 3rd down conversions.
Well, the guy he likes to go to, his go-to receiver, Chris Bird, number 18. Leading receiver coming into the game with 60 catches. They move him to a lot of different spots. He's in the slot right now to the bottom of the screen.
Number 2 all-time in the Cavaliers receiving charts, and now he's on the move on 3rd down. Rocco's looking that way. Fires and got him complete, 1st down. And Chris Bird, as Todd called it, picks up the 1st and moves the chains. Let's take a look at our impact players. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Perry Jones closing in on 900 yards rushing on the season. His tailback mate is Kevin Parks, and he'll see a lot of work. 2nd among ACC freshmen in the rushing charts. Chase Minifield, an impact player because he's not in the lineup tonight. And that could have a huge bearing on what Auburn does through the air. Parks now in the backfield for the Cavaliers. Straight drop. Rocco, plenty of time. Across the middle, one-handed stab, incomplete. Tim Smith had a hand on it. And maybe the best guy in the front wall, Corey Lemonier, limping off for Auburn. Holly?
Guys, he just took a blow to his right leg. He's complaining of some pain above the knee and down in the high ankle area. He's trying to walk it off right now, guys, but he's definitely in some pain. Looks like they're going to take him back to the locker room for a moment.
He's one of their main guys on that defensive front. He's forced 5 fumbles this year and has close to 10 sacks on the season. So that'd be a big loss to the Auburn front wall. Rocco, quick throw, outside, complete. Darius Jennings, a freshman, has got a 1st down.
I just want to follow up on that point about the change for Gene Chizik. The guy he has up in the booth, the GA, is Dustin Landry, who has been with Gene for 3 years. He was with him at Iowa State as a GA in 2008, and then the last 2 years here at Auburn. So he's very comfortable with Dustin being in the box and providing the information that he needs on the field.
He told us yesterday, I had to pick this game to become defensive coordinator again with all the shifts and motion that Virginia shows you. They're right at midfield again, the Cavaliers, with a 1st down. The give is to Kevin Parks. He takes it outside and got the corner. Parks, and then buries his head into Nico Thorpe with a big gainer. And a 1st down, Cavaliers.
Yeah, not a very good job by Demetrius McNeil, number 12. He was an unblocked guy on the edge of the defense, and Parks just kind of froze him. And watch the end of this run. Bates is going to get blocked, but McNeil is unblocked, and he takes a bad angle to Parks, and Parks is able to turn the corner on the defense.
Got 23 yards down to the 27. So the Cavaliers have got something working here on their 2nd offensive possession. 3 wideouts here. And a quick throw by Rocco is behind Chris Bird, his intended receiver. And Jermaine Whitehead was right there. Here we're in the 1st quarter as Rocco play action going deep. And there, Bird, touchdown. Rocco to Bird, the hookup. 27 yards and a touchdown.
Not a whole lot of success so far running the football outside of that last run by Parks. but enough to set up play action and freeze safeties and linebackers and allow you to throw over the top of the defense for a big play.
Randolph in for the point after.
I just like the feel, the rhythm of the Virginia offense here in the first quarter of play.
The extra point is good. And with 8:05 remaining in the first quarter, the Cavaliers strike first. Michael Rocco with his 12th touchdown pass of the year. Beautiful New Year's Eve in Atlanta. Happy New Year. 7-0. Happy times for the Cavalier fans right now. Eat more War Eagle instead of eat more chicken. There's been some chicken consumed in this city this week, and we've done our share.
Yes.
Yeah. 64-yard drive, good-looking drive in 5 plays for the Cavaliers. 27-yard touchdown pass, and they lead 7-0. Hinkabine the kick. This one should be returnable if it doesn't go out of bounds, and it will go out of bounds. So that gives Auburn good field position. Takes back to the touchdown.
Well, Chris Bird is right here, all right, and he's going to run a post for the touchdown, but the guy that makes the play is the tight end Friedman. He's going to run and hold the coverage of this safety right there, and by doing so, that isolates single coverage for Bird with no safety help over the top. Rocco reads it and makes a beautiful throw, but the tight end's very important in holding that second defender and allowing the single coverage.
Trey Mason comes in to take his spot at the 48-yard line. He gets his first carry. This one was not going to go anywhere thanks to Will Hill.
The guy we've not seen yet for Auburn is Kyle Frazier, the backup quarterback, who is more the running threat from the quarterback position. We'll see plenty of him tonight. So far, it's been all Mosley.
And second down at 10 for the Tigers. Play fake. Mosley had it tipped at the line, trying to get it out to Jay Wisner, but Conrath got a hand in the way.
Well, Conrath is tall at 6'7", and when we shook hands with him yesterday, he may have the biggest hands of anybody that I've met this year. He has gigantic mitts, and he got one up that time and knocked. He's also blocked 3 field goals this season.
All ACC performer. Doesn't talk much, but he plays big. Third down at 10. Again, the Tigers will look to the sideline to Gus Malzahn and those placards they have over there with the play calls.
Just switched the position of Emory Blake, moved him inside to the slot. Here he is right here. Lutsen Kirkin on the outside.
Mosley over the middle. It's hit, almost intercepted. Talaferro had his hands on it and couldn't hold it. And Mosley slow to get up in the Auburn backfield. And he is going to have to limp to the sideline. That might bring Kyle Frazier in a lot quicker than we thought.
They switched formations, and Virginia was in tune to where the ball might be going. That's a beautiful zone drop by Taliaferro. And then on the back end of the play, Conrath and Cam Johnson meet at the quarterback, and Mosley takes a good shot.
Stephen Clark into punt. Mosley flat down on his backside on the sideline. High spiral. Can Auburn cover this before it gets to the end zone? Not quite. Would have been perfect at about the 1-foot line, but McNeil couldn't quite get to it. Well, the Auburn quarterback's got some problems. We'll check on him when we come back. But not a happy time for Mosley right now as they're working on him on the sideline. And Barrett Trotter has already started warming up along with Kyle Frazier. Meanwhile, the Cavaliers with a touchdown lead. Looked like they had motion on the play on the toss to Richardson, and he only got a couple yards on third down and 10 as Auburn flops their defensive ends. Quick slip screen and a good job defensively by Thurisi in the secondary.
Yeah, read very quickly by Thurisi. You hope to get a lineman to get a piece of that if he doesn't read it so quickly, but it was a quick read and a nice tackle out in space.
So Jimmy Howell will punt again, and Quan Bray fielded the last one deep in his own territory. He should have a better shot at this one. Auburn got some nice pressure, and they blocked the punt, and they got it. Blake Burgess. And the Tigers with a big play on special teams. They just sent 4 guys powered up the middle. I don't know if that punt took too long or not, but Auburn with a big break here.
I don't think it took too long. They just were committed to the block. Number 86 is going to come free off the edge, and he takes a perfect angle to the football.
Garrett Harper.
You see the big guys got occupied on the inside, and that allowed Harper, if he doesn't take the right angle, he doesn't get it, but a perfect angle to the football, and then gets the recovery.
He did it all on that one play. Garrett Harper with a huge opportunity now for the Auburn offense at the 15-yard line, and it's Kyle Frazier at the controls. The freshman quarterback gives it off. McCaleb, corner, 5, first and goal, Auburn.
Now, we may not see Barrett Trotter in this possession, but the rest of this game, if Mosley can't play, we'll see both Frazier and Trotter. Frazier more the running quarterback, the guy who gives them the quarterback run game. Right now, they're in an overload to the right side. You got 3 offensive linemen on the right side.
We might see Frazier run it right here. Straight ahead. Touchdown. The ball is out at the end. Virginia's saying they've got it. But the Auburn offense comes up with the football. Hudson Kirkin.
The only thing that has to happen is the ball just has to cross the plane of the goal line for it to be a touchdown.
And the scoring drive, a short one, thanks to a great play on special teams. Extra point by Parkey is up and good. And we're even at the 4-minute mark thanks to that young man. Garrett Harper with the block punt that led to the touchdown. Tie game 7-7. And the kick is again going to be about 6 yards deep. And Virginia will start at the 20-yard line. They'll go to the ground game. And Kevin Parks with another burst and probably a first down. Oh, he's quick.
Well, he's quick and he's short. I think, you know, they've got big offensive linemen, and he's listed at 5'8", which means he's really probably only about 5'7". And he just gets in behind those big linemen, and he's hard to find.
He got all but the last foot or so. Second down, less than 1. This time the fullback gets a little sugar, and he's got a first down, and he's butting heads into the next level. Max Moline, Freeman, and Davis bring him down, but he easily got a first down. And the Cavaliers first down at the Tiger 29. Empty backfield. Rocco. This might be a double pass. Barry Jones, he's going to pull it down. He does have a pass to his credit this year. But not that time.
I'll tell you what, that's good defense that time. Credit Ryan White, number 19, who stayed at home. He didn't go for the fake. Again, Virginia's feeling the momentum going their way. 2 costly penalties. They take a shot at a trick play, expecting the defense to bite, and Ryan White stayed right at home in coverage.
So let's see what Bill Lazor's got up for this situation. Second down and 8. Rocco looks left and comes back across the middle to Jones. He's a yard shy of the first down. Lemonier, who's back in there after the personal foul, made the tackle.
See, I mentioned that Perry Jones is an excellent receiver. 41 catches on the year coming in, and he's a mismatch problem. That time, he's a tailback coming out of the backfield working on a defensive end. Lemonier, who had dropped into coverage. That's a matchup that favors the offense, and Rocco found him very quickly.
We have an eye set here again on third down and a yard. Parks is the tailback. He'll get the handle and get the first down, but not by much. He might even have to look at this one.
Left foot spot or a right foot spot? Looks like a right foot spot.
I think so. And that should be a first down. And it is. The old right foot spot. Plenty as the first quarter coming to a close. Been a good ball game. All those folks in orange and blue. Orange and blue officially for Virginia. Burnt orange and navy blue at the end of one. Both colors even at 7. Set to start the second quarter in Atlanta, 7-7. A quarter dominated statistically by Virginia, but that doesn't mean much if you block a punt. And that's what Auburn did. That block punt led to the touchdown. And the Cavaliers driving down to 1st and goal.
Wow, nice quick hitter by Perry Jones. They went with the quick count coming out to start the quarter. Kind of caught the Auburn defense back in their stance a little bit. And Perry Jones showed a little burst.
If you're just joining us here early in the second quarter, the majority of this Virginia drive was catapulted by mistakes defensively and 2 personal foul penalties on the Auburn Tiger defense. That's what's helped them go 68 yards. This is the 8th play of the drive, 1st and goal at the 5. Rocco wanted to swing it out, and what a catch by Parks, but he lost yardage on the deal. Aaron Bates made the hit. Quite a grab, though, by Kevin Parks. A one-hand stab. The 2 number 25s out there going one-on-one.
Yeah, Michael Rocco looked like he was thinking about throwing that away. That clock had kind of gone off in his head. He knew he had to get rid of the football. And kind of got caught in between throwing it or throwing it away. And Parks went up and made a great catch.
Parks did the instinctive thing. If he would have had another chance at that, he would have let it go because they lost 4 yards. 2nd and goal back at the 9. And now Parks on the run behind his big offensive lineman, gets it back down to the 5.
They pulled their center that time. Anthony Mahota was out in front. Parks just kind of put his hand right on his hip and just kind of rode him right through the hole. Pretty nice run there on 2nd down. 3rd and 5 right now. If you're Michael Rocco, you got to be smart. You know, you want to take care of the football. You don't want to throw an interception trying to force a ball in here. You're in field goal range to take the lead. And you want to make sure you come away with points if you don't have what you like.
His biggest target would be coming right there towards you, number 89, Colter Phillips, the tight end. Rocco across the middle. Touchdown, Bird, his 2nd of the night.
Boy, that's a beautiful job by Bird, just finding the soft part of the defense and sitting right down to give his quarterback a target. Virginia uses a lot of bunch formation, so they all come off at the same time off the line of scrimmage, and then they spread out into routes, and Bird did a beautiful job sitting down.
Randolph's extra point is good. 73-yard drive in 10 plays, much of it courtesy of the Auburn defense. But here's the touchdown pass, 2nd of the night between these 2 guys.
And watch Bird just sat down, showed his numbers to the quarterback, didn't drift, didn't fade. That's what a veteran receiver does. Show the numbers to the quarterback, secure the catch for the touchdown.
14-7. Rocco to Bird. That's the battery twice so far tonight. So far, Virginia's got the lead here at the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Quad Bray from the 3-yard line. And he is tracked down beautifully by Ray Keys on the special teams. That's the 2nd time he's made a stop tonight.
Well, again, you've got 2 guys now in Barrett Trotter, who is more of the thrower and the ball distributor, and Kyle Frazier, who can throw but has not thrown much or very successfully this season. He's more the quarterback run guy. So far, neither combination has worked too well.
At the 15, flags down, might be a free play here. McCaleb on Taylor. McCaleb finds a little bit of opening now. He's got great speed. McCaleb with his quarterback in front of him, down the sideline and out of bounds. And if, in fact, Virginia was offside, this is a huge play for the Auburn offense.
You know, it almost felt like some of the Virginia defenders kind of stopped playing.
Offside, defense number 90, penalties decline, first down.
60-yard run by Ontario McCaleb.
Jake Snyder jumped off sides. Number 90, the defensive end, on the side the play was going to. Watch Snyder come off sides, and now let's see if the Virginia guys just kind of slow down and don't finish the play. But McCaleb alertly crosses field and uses that speed out in the open field to make a big play.
Longest run of the year for the Auburn offense. And now Kyle Frazier is in at quarterback. McCaleb will join him after that long journey down to the 25-yard line. And it's Frazier on the keeper, and he lost 2. Henry Coley, the middle linebacker, made the stop. This is what Todd did back in his day. Lead the way, the quarterback. Getting the block. A little bit of a shoulder nudge, and then finally went to the turf. And Trotter comes back in. Frazier goes out as the musical chairs happening here at quarterback. If you just joined us, Clint Mosley was hurt in the first quarter.
2 guys you want to get the ball to here. Lutzenkirchen, number 43, who's right here, and Emory Blake, who's up here. Those are your 2 playmaker guys in the passing game.
Trey Mason, the freshman, is in the Auburn backfield with Trotter. Play fake to him, the slip screen out to Blake with blockers. Blake, and he's down, first and goal at the 5.
Football is not that complex. It's about finding your guys, getting the football in the hands of guys that can make plays for you, especially if you're struggling a little bit on offense. McCaleb did it on the run, and now Blake does it on the short catch. Nice job by the lineman A.J. Green getting out in front, number 77, and then Blake does the rest.
And now Frazier back in at quarterback. First and goal, Auburn at the Virginia 5. Rides it to McCaleb, keeps it himself. May have gotten face mask, but no flags down, as he only got a yard. Talafero and Reynolds, the 2 outside linebackers, made the stop.
I think if they would give Kyle Frazier a play-action pass here on 2nd down, they'd find somebody wide open, probably Lutzenkirchen.
Not going to give him a chance. He's coming out again. So a whole new group comes in for Auburn, including Barrett Trotter back in at quarterback. Blake and Stallworth out quickly, and they put Trotter in the shotgun. And the end around of McCaleb on a Statue of Liberty touchdown.
Nice.
Well designed and perfectly executed, and we're a point away from a tie game again. Cody Parkey for the point after. Tie game with 10:33 remaining in the half. Ontario McCaleb did most of the damage in that drive. A 60-yard rush. And then the Statue of Liberty end around, and he's got blockers in front, and he's got the end zone. 14-14. McCaleb caps an 85-yard drive with a 3-yard touchdown run and a beautifully designed play that we'll show you again here in a second. Right now, Cody Parkey's got it teed up, set to kick away at 10:33, and it's an onside kick, and Auburn's got it. How about that? The kicker doing his thing.
2 huge special teams plays for Auburn here in the first half. The block punt, and now Cody Parkey with the onside kick. You try this when you expect that front wall to just turn and run. They go and block. Beautifully executed. Parkey allows it to go 10 yards and then covers it up.
That was beautiful. He just waited on it, like Todd said. Had to go 10 yards, and he's waiting, and it probably feels like an eternity right about there. And just snatched it in inside the 41-yard line. So now Auburn with the last touchdown to even things up, and they've got an opportunity on offense here. And now fumble, Frazier picks it up, and he gets horse-collared at the 45-yard line. Reynolds brought him down. Now let's see if Trotter comes back out, and he will. Again, Clint Mosley, the starting quarterback, hurt in the first quarter, and it's been a rotating situation now between Kyle Frazier, the freshman, and Barrett Trotter, the junior out of Birmingham. 2nd down and 6. They fake the end around. Trotter loads and fires deep. Got a man out there. It's Blake to the 5. might be the best throw of Barrett Trotter's year.
Auburn hardly ever goes under center. They went under center, play action, and a beautiful throw in rhythm to Emory Blake.
First and goal, Auburn. Inside handoff to Mason. He got a yard. That's it. Boy, some big plays. An onside kick by Auburn. The long ball, 50-yarder. Trotter to Blake. Emory Blake making his presence felt. Like we said, Todd, third time we've seen him this year. First time we've seen what he can do.
They're a different team with him. He is a legitimate big-time SEC receiver. Can stretch a defense and make big plays.
Kyle Frazier back in at quarterback. At the 4. McCaleb trying to get to the corner. Lost the ball as he got to the 1. Could have actually fumbled that ball out of bounds, maybe. At any rate, it's down to the 1-yard line, inside the 1, in fact. Trying to reach for the pylon underhanded, and the ball went out as he went out. So it's third and goal. And Kyle Frazier at quarterback.
So your power runner now is your quarterback. No other back in the backfield.
Fake it to Mason, and Frazier leaps into the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn. Your quarterback becomes your power back, as Todd said. And he had no problem, even after taking the snap of the shotgun, to find the end zone.
I'll tell you what, you got to be, if you're an Auburn fan, you got to be happy for Barrett Trotter, too. You've gone through a tough year. Your team's gone through a tough year. And when they need you, you step up and you make some big-time plays.
Cody Parkey, who started all this with the onside kick, finishes it with a perfect extra point kick. 8:44 remaining in the half. So Parkey, I'm assuming, is going to kick away. Well, they fake one. They bring up the whole bunch, and now they backpedal. Gene Chizik likes to play around with special teams a little bit, too. Not only being the head coach, and in this case, the defensive coordinator. And now they kick away. And it's a deep one again. And they'll have to take a knee. Shepard. And Virginia will start at the 20-yard line. Here's a long stretch handoff. Clifton Richardson, the biggest of the Virginia backs, is all the way out near midfield.
Well, we knew we'd see Richardson some tonight. They wanted to use him because of his size and his physical style. A little bit different than the other two backs in Parks and Jones. And he does a nice job of not messing around. Once he breaks it outside, watch how quickly he gets back going north and south. And uses that size.
They mark it at the 48-yard line. He gets a breather, and Perry Jones comes back in. 3 wide receivers set for Michael Rocco here as we're down to 7:45 remaining in the half. Play action. Rocco all day. Throws, completes down to the 35 and a first down. Darius Jennings.
The balance is still there for Virginia. They're running the ball with enough success to set up play action. It's quick throws when they drop back, get it out of the quarterback's hands quickly, and they go for chunk plays off of play action. Good protection when you hold linebackers, and then you throw into open spots.
Jennings, Maryland High School Player of the Year last season. In the red zone, Cavaliers trying to even things up here before halftime at the 19. And it's the big back again. And Richardson banging his way, still not down. They'll give him probably 3 on his forward progress, I think. Richardson, a freshman out of Newport News, Virginia, which is a hotbed for great football players. But he, as Todd said, is the bigger guy, 6-footer, about 215 pounds.
Yeah, he's not ready to play as much as Jones or Parks, primarily because of pass protection responsibilities. I mean, he's a little bit behind in that because of his age as a freshman, but in terms of being a physical runner, definitely somebody they want to work into the action.
Parks back in there now at the tailback spot. On second down at 6, just outside the 15. Rocco all day to throw, and now throws it away wisely, I think. He had Bird. Now we got a little skirmish going on after his play. 6 out of 8 on the third down conversions tonight. So it's for Virginia. We got you right where we want you. If they can continue to convert those third downs, they can get a first inside the 9.
Again, Virginia likes to use these tight formations.
Rocco to the end zone. Broken up. Perry Jones, the intended receiver, and Freeman and Thorpe are back there defensively.
I think if he has a little bit more on this ball, Jones might be able to catch it before the other guy comes over the top. It was a little bit underthrown, and you saw that Jones had to kind of wait for it, and that enabled Thorpe to get there.
And again, instinctively, much like the play earlier in the game, Freeman at the last second got a hand in there. And it's a fake. Hodges is going to be dragged down by Chris Davis. The Auburn defense presents itself and prevents any further scoring by the Cavaliers.
Well, no question the special teams edge has gone to Auburn in the first half of this game. The third big play in special teams by the Auburn team. Excellent play in the open field by Davis, stopping him short.
Well, guys, Jacob Hodges, number 27, the holder, was a team manager last year. He played high school football. It's been a dream of his to play for Virginia. And the guys said, hey, he's an athlete. Let's see if he can walk on. He did. And now he's the holder. That's some real faith in Mike London to have him run that when he was a team manager just a year ago.
Holly, you told us that play was coming this morning at our meeting. And now Trotter's trotting the wrong way. And he got rid of it. And waiting to see if there's a flag or not.
Well, Trey Mason was kind of in the area. Barrett Trotter had not left the tackle box. I do think the ball crossed the line of scrimmage, and Trey Mason was kind of there.
Kind of there.
Kind of. They were trying to set up a screen, and quick pressure by Conrad forced Trotter to throw it away.
Bray, the motion man, as Trotter will come back to the throw to McCaleb this time. And McCaleb's got blockers, and he's got great speed. And out of bounds at the 40. Wow, he's made some huge plays in this first half. 28 yards that time.
You know, sometimes with a guy like McCaleb, you just get him the ball out in space and see if he can make a play for you. There's some defenders out here for Virginia, but they can't get him on the ground. And that's just McCaleb being an instinctive football player out in the open field.
And Ontario coming into this game said, I want to show that I can be an every down back. And now Frazier, they can let him throw for the first time. Maybe. No. Yes, maybe. Frazier finally will tuck it and go out of bounds with a decent gain on the run. And his head coach is there to say, "Had a way to buy yourself some time." That seemed like 30 seconds he was back there.
Well, because he doesn't throw as much, you give him a call like that with the idea that somebody might run free, because that defense is so locked into him running the football. Pretty good discipline by the Virginia defense that time not to give up a big play on the pass for Kyle Frazier.
I said it seemed like a half minute. The gang in the truck tells us 13 seconds it took to pick up 7 yards. Second down at 3 for Frazier. And he'll keep it himself on the zone read and get a first down. Put down by Brent Urban, but not before he moves the sticks again.
Virginia trying to substitute guys on their defensive front. They got a little fatigue working here at the end of the first half. Trying to keep some fresh bodies in there. Again, they're down a couple guys, key guys. Steve Greer, middle linebacker, not playing. Chase Minifield, their top cornerback, not playing.
Lutzenkirchen in motion now, sets up in the slot. And another end around reverse. Quan Bray this time. Quan Bray. And if that's not a face mask, although he gets all the way down to the 20, we may never get a face mask call tonight. So Quan Bray, we knew we'd see him a lot tonight. There was even talk about maybe playing a little bit of tailback. In this case, they just get it in his hands any way they can on the toss from McCaleb.
Well, I think that Gus Malzahn is sensing the same thing that I sense, and that is a little fatigue in this Virginia defense. Make them run. Misdirection, reverses, make this team in orange run.
And now Trotter, play action. Looking, sideline throw to Lutzenkirchen, and he couldn't hold it.
Wow.
That would have been a touchdown had he been a little bit farther out in front of him.
I think he fooled Lutzenkirchen, because it looked to me like Barrett Trotter at first looked like he was going to run. Then it looked like he was going to throw to the shorter receiver. And I don't even think he looked at Lutzenkirchen when he threw to him. And that was a pretty instinctive throw by Trotter that could have been a touchdown.
Barrett stays in there at quarterback with just over a minute remaining in the half. Trying to add to the Tigers' 7-point lead. Maybe a touchdown. And now Trotter in the gun on 2nd down and 10 at the 25. Virginia's going to blitz. Trotter on a throwback to McCaleb to the corner, and bye-bye Ontario. That's one of the better timeouts called you've ever seen. 25-yard touchdown. McCaleb doing it again. As I said, he wanted to let everybody know he can do everything, and he is doing everything in this first half.
Well, beautiful job by Brandon Mosley, number 75. The right tackle slipping out, getting the key block. McCaleb kind of slipped in like he was going to pass protect, and then released out. Beautiful execution.
Extra point by Parkey's good. Parkey to kick. Great at drilling it deep and preventing runbacks, but this one will be carried out from a yard deep. Darius Jennings. And Jennings, nice return out to the 30-yard line. By 2 touchdowns. They'd love to get anything offensively here before halftime. They'd take a field goal if that's all. Here's a throwback screen to Jones, and he's got some big boys in front. Jones down the sideline and out of bounds at the 41. Very well executed there. And a pickup of 25.
Well, now they can huddle. You know, that first play, Jones got tackled inbounds.
12 seconds. Now you've got to think about either using one of the timeouts or go to the end zone.
Well, you still got the 2 timeouts. You hate to take them to the locker room with you. Utilize them if you can. Quick
they
throw.
empty the backfield. So Rocco with blitz coming. Steps up. He's going to try to run if he can get a blocker in front. Now they need the timeout in a hurry. With 5 seconds, they get it.
Timeout, Virginia. That is their 2nd timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
I'm not so sure Rocco should have waited for his blocker because he got caught from behind. He maybe should have just taken off with that thing. Well, we said anything they could get out of this late drive would be something to take to the locker room. They're going to try to take a field goal. 24-yard attempt.
Bet they don't fake this one.
And it's up and good. With no time. That's going to be the last play of the half. Good way to end it for the Cavaliers. Field goal draws them closer. But Auburn, with almost a home game, they're only about 100 miles away from the Plains here in Atlanta. And they love the Georgia Dome. They've been here a lot. And the first half, they have a lead again here in the Chick-fil-A Bowl at halftime as we get out of Holland.
Well, Coach, what made you feel it was the right time and moment for that onside kick?
Well, we just planned it. You know, we said after we score either first or second touchdown, we're going to go with it. We've worked it all year. It's worked for us. It's never not worked. So we went ahead and went with it, and it worked again.
How do you evaluate your defensive coordinator's performance?
Right now, not very good. Too many big plays. We'll get some things straightened out hopefully at halftime here and play a lot better second half hopefully.
What's the big thing you need to fix, Coach?
It's just the big plays right now. A couple big pass plays at the end. We are making some plays when our back's against the wall, and that's been a good thing. Stop the fake field goal. So there are some good things. We got to get some things fixed. This is a tough offense to defend.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
That's Holly's best question of the year. What do you think of your defensive coordinator? He is the defensive coordinator, and he's the head coach that's got his team in front. 28-7 at halftime as we send it to Reese, Mark, and Lou in the studio. 28-17 as we're just about set to start the third quarter. As we take a look at our American Airlines first half statistics. Auburn had 37 yards in the first quarter. They had 237 in the second quarter, and thus the lead 28-17. The Tigers out in front As we welcome you back to Atlanta, everybody, in the Georgia Dome. Brad Nessler with Todd Blackledge. You know, partner, first thing I think of when I think of bowl game is there going to be rust, and are we going to see teams wanting to win? These two are pulling out all the stops, and they don't look rusty.
No, they don't. Both offenses have looked outstanding in the first half, and really the only edge that Auburn has had clearly in the game has been on special teams, and it's been mistakes. The block punt that Auburn got early, beautiful job by the wide receiver coming off the edge, perfect angle. That set up a touchdown for Auburn. Then right after their second touchdown, they convert the onside kick. That led to the go-ahead touchdown at 21-14. And then when Virginia went for a little trick play on the special teams, they got stopped. That took 3 points off the board. So clear edge in the special teams the first half for Auburn, the difference in the ball game.
And Auburn will get the football first to start the second half. That number 23 right there is about halfway to being the player of the game, the way he performed in the first half, both on the ground and as a pass receiver.
149 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He'll handle, won't handle this one as it goes over his head, and Auburn will work from the 20. We check in with Holly.
Well, guys, I had an opportunity to catch up with Virginia coach Mike London, and he said, you know, we thought this was going to be a game of field position, and it has been. He said they've had it 6 times. We've had it 5 because of that punt block. But he said in the areas that matter, he's pleased with his team. Total yardage, third down, time of possession. Those are areas that they're winning. He said they've got to quit making mistakes. They're hurting themselves right now. He also said the tempo of Auburn has been a factor. They've got to do a better job on their perimeter defense, set the edge, and not let this Wildcat quarterback stuff hurt them so much on the sides.
That Wildcat quarterback's in there right now. Kyle Frazier, the freshman, in an empty backfield, although McCallum will join him now. First play, third quarter, and it's Frazier on the keeper. And he goes for 6 on the first snap for the Auburn offense.
You know, it's interesting that Holly said that Mike London talked about the tempo of the Auburn offense. I asked Mike London before the game, did you play anybody this year that tried to play tempo the way this team might? And he said, well, yeah, Indiana did that, but that was back in September. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And Auburn really changes their tempo, and especially when they're having some success, they'll even go faster when they feel like they've got you.
And a little mistake, I think, in the backfield there, but Frazier's going to make something out of it anyway. And he bulls his way out to the 39-yard line. Looked like his tailback went the wrong way, but maybe that was the way the play was designed. I'm not sure. Trotter coming back out.
Well, see if he continues to have a hot hand in that first half. He was outstanding. 6 of 10, 130 yards. Good decisions.
A long 50-yarder that got him down to 1st and goal where they scored. Lutzenkirk in motion. And Mason blasts off the left side, and he's out to midfield. Another first down, Auburn. And here's Auburn without a huddle. Right at midfield.
You know, I know they've had a lot of time to prepare between the end of the regular season, the game against Alabama, and the suspension of Michael Dyer on December 11th until now, but it's still impressive how they've been able to overcome the absence of their best offensive player.
Trotter breaks a tackle in the backfield, and he's going to lose a yard, but it could have been a lot worse. Trotter not the runner, obviously, of Frazier. And nobody can be the runner the guy was last year, Cam Newton. Cam's doing okay in the pros, too, isn't he?
Not too shabby. Yeah, not too shabby.
This time last year, we were talking about Auburn playing for the national championship, and Cam Newton, a Heisman Trophy winner. And he's done all right in his rookie campaign in Carolina. Here's a throwback screen to Emory Blake. Blake made the first guy miss, and the second, and the third, spinning his way all the way to the 32-yard line. And that shows you the dimension that number 80 adds that they haven't had much of the year.
Virginia chose to come with some pressure that time, and Henry Coley, number 44, was the first guy out to Blake. And he just got left flat-footed. Blake made him miss, and then got upfield for big yardage.
And a first down at the 32, so an impressive opening third quarter drive so far for Auburn. McCaleb trying to get to the corner, and a stiff arm, and he's going to be dragged down by Dom Joseph, the cornerback on that side.
Dom Joseph is the guy playing in place of Chase Minifield, a fifth-year senior. This is kind of not complained about a lack of playing time, has played nickelback when Minifield was healthy, but he's called on to be the regular corner right now in this ball game.
Funny thing, we thought it would be a Minifield-Blake matchup. Two guys that are both sons of former NFL stars. On the pitch, Mason might have a first down. And it looks like he will at the 22-yard line.
We talked about how Auburn changes the pace on you. The little quick huddle, the quick huddle close to the line of scrimmage and snap the ball quick out of that huddle has caused some problems for Virginia.
This is about the best you could ask for if you're an Auburn fan to open up the third quarter. 58 yards. This is the 8th play of the drive. Quan Bray in the backfield. And he might want to throw a pass here, and will. Lost it to the corner, but he ran out of real estate intended for Trevante Stallworth.
Well, I'll tell you what, if there's Arkansas State football players watching this game tonight, offensive guys, they got to be pretty excited at what they're seeing out of Gus Malzahn's offense, because we have seen a little bit of everything. They had it. They had their man. Rodney McLeod, the safety, was beaten on the play. It's too far to the sideline.
Straight ahead this time, and busting out the backside is Mason. Touchdown. Trey Mason, 22-yard touchdown burst. And I mean burst because it looked like they had him stopped. And he popped out the back end.
Well, the left guard, Chad Slade, got the key block. He pulled around and led Mason through the hole. And Mason just did the rest after a broken tackle.
Cody Parkey's extra point is perfect. And Auburn stretching their lead to 35-17. After a 21-point second quarter, their best of the year, they start off the third quarter in fine fashion as well. Everybody getting in the act for the Tigers, including Mason, the freshman. 35-17 Tigers. It's a happy time for Auburn right now. 35-17, and Trey Mason just went 22 yards for the last touchdown to cap an 80-yard opening march in the third quarter. Can Virginia answer? Darius Jennings from a yard deep, and only got to the 20, maybe the 21. And let's take you back to that last Auburn touchdown.
Well, redshirt freshman Chad Slade took over as the starting left guard when Jared Cooper was injured against Arkansas. And this, folks, is a pancake block. He takes Henry Coley, puts him right on his back. Trey Mason runs right behind it, and then untouched the rest of the way to the end zone. That's a big-time block by a big man.
First down, Virginia's first drive of the third quarter. Parks again, cuts outside. Got the edge and got to the 40. Jonathan Mincy put the stop on, but a nice gain.
Luke Bowanko, one of those tall guards you mentioned, the right guard, number 70, was the guy out leading that play. They really think he's got a chance to be a big-time player and a real leader on this team. He's the only new starter this year. The other four guys were starters in 2010. He's a sophomore, filled in and had an outstanding season.
Pastor, their left guard's the only guy they're going to lose off that front wall that's played every game together this year. They fake an end around. Rocco loads it and goes deep down the middle. Chris Bird, his big play performer, has got another one.
See, they run the ball, they run it at you, and then they go deep crossing routes off the play action, and that's where they get their big chunk plays. Bird has a great feel for the middle of the field. He knows where openings are. He knows where to settle down in between defenders and give his quarterback a big target. He's not the fastest receiver, but he's a physical guy at 6'2" and about 200 pounds.
So Virginia trying to answer Auburn's opening touchdown drive of the third quarter. They worked it to the Tiger 39. Draw play. Broken tackle by Jones. And he got 4 out of it.
Best thing that's happening right now with this drive, obviously Virginia wants to score some points, but it's allowing Jim Reed, the defensive coordinator, to rethink some things and to give that defense some rest and try to figure out a way to get some stops on this very hot Auburn offense.
There he is, working exactly what Todd was talking about. Jim's not very enthusiastic, is he? What a great meeting we had with him yesterday. At the 35, quick toss out and a good catch by Matt Snyder, Mr. Dependability, the senior and one of the captains who's been injured the latter portion of the season, but is back in there tonight, and that's his first catch.
Yeah, he broke his foot in practice after the Georgia Tech game, and this is his first game back. Still not maybe 100%, but a really well-liked guy on the team. In fact, they told the story that when he did come back to practice, the first catch that he made in practice, the team kind of stopped and gave him an ovation.
Yeah. This is a big third down for Virginia. 3rd and a yard. Auburn, everybody up close, and with that, Rocco's going to flare it out, complete down the sidelines. The fullback, Moline, and he's got a first down.
Tell you what, this offense, they do a nice job of getting their backs out of the backfield and beating underneath coverage. You know, they bunch everybody in and then they release backs out, and the coverage comes from inside out, and it's just too hard to catch up. El Toro Freeman is trying to get there, and he's just way behind the play. But the play fake holds the linebacker, and then they release the back out.
Rocco fires complete. And down to the 1-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal to Ray Keys.
You know, Chris Davis had to come out of the game with the cramp. They brought there is he in, and they went right at him. They went with Keys, who's a big receiver, and went right at the replacement corner and got the ball inside the 1-yard line.
Smart job by the Virginia coaching staff. Davis, after one play out with a cramp, back in there now, but it's 1st and goal. Parks trying to back in, does. Touchdown.
Great second effort by Parks. Spinning, churning, finding the goal line.
So both teams with very impressive third quarter drives here.
And big offensive line, big tight ends. There's another pancake block. We saw one from Auburn. There's a pancake block from Virginia. That's good serve.
Extra point is good, capping a 79-yard drive, very similar to the 80-yarder that Auburn had. And we've chewed up a good chunk of the third quarter with 2 impressive touchdown drives. So the Virginia fans have a lot to cheer about after that drive has made it an 11-point game. So in essence, they have it back to a 2-score situation here with 6:20 remaining. Now Virginia showing a strange kickoff alignment, but they will kick away. Now Terry McCaleb, who's done everything tonight, will add kick returner to his resume, but he's put down at the 25-yard line. Ray Keys, who's had, I think, 3 tackles on special teams tonight. And it's Frazier. Takes it straight up the middle. Snyder again made the tackle, but we're down to 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And Auburn continues to drive. Bray in motion on 3rd down and 5. Play action. Pressure from behind. He zips it down the middle and right into Emory Blake's stomach, and he dropped it.
Yeah, that was a good throw by Trotter. Virginia came with pressure. He stayed right in there, stepped up a little bit in the pocket, and made a nice throw to Emory Blake. Blake not able to hang on. Watch the pressure come, steps up a little bit away from it, and that would have been a 1st down for Auburn.
Instead, they do force a punt. They get the stop that they were looking for. Dominic Terrell waits on Stephen Clark's kick. And he's going to get out of the way.
Got to go catch that.
I don't know if he lost that completely. He headed in the exact opposite direction of where the ball was heading.
I mean, you catch that ball and it's on about the 12. You let it bounce, it's inside the 10.
Don't you think he lost that in the lights? He looked up and he just headed for the sideline. 4 wideouts for Rocco. And the Auburn crowd trying to make it difficult for the Cavalier offense. Rocco, and there comes the pressure, and down he goes. Gabe Wright. You called it, partner.
Well, this was pressure, but it was only pressure with 4 men rushing. This was just 4 guys whipping 5, is all this one was. Auburn's defensive linemen just turned it up, and that front 5 that's played very well tonight for Virginia didn't get the job done.
And now Virginia has to punt, and Howell's got his back of his feet almost out of the end zone. And he had it blocked again out of the back of the end zone. And Jim Blackson, another freshman defensive lineman with a block punt.
When you're that close to the back line, you don't have time to do a rugby kick. I mean, that's got to be catch and kick. They tried to do a rugby kick, and he held it too long, and Blackman was there for the block.
Wow. So add a safety to the Auburn attack tonight.
And every time they've made a play in the special teams, it's led to points. 2 of them have led to touchdowns. 1 led to a safety, and 1 stopped fake field goal, denied Virginia 3 points.
I would bet you the percentage on winning a game if you have 1 block punt is probably 70%.
Yeah.
You get 2 block punts in a night, you're probably going to win a game.
There's a good chance.
That's not the way you want your bowl season to go.
And Auburn gets the football right back.
Free kick coming up. Howell will do it. Nobody will block this one. Quan Bray and Ontario McCaleb will be back deep waiting on it. And it'll be Bray who will camp under this one at the 22. Reverses his field. Quan Bray's got some blockers. And now the punter won't get him. It's all the way down to the 10-yard line. "68-yard punt return." Free kick return, I should say.
It was a good kick. Probably too good, because Bray had a lot of room to maneuver, and then the speed to get outside the punter and outside the edge. And yet again, another special teams play that has gone in the favor of the team wearing blue tonight.
Actually 62 yards because they're spotted at the 15. And here's Auburn with another golden opportunity. Blitz coming. Trotter pump fakes. Goes to the corner to Lexenkirchen and overshot everybody. And this has been a game of big plays, trick plays. Not good special teams play by Virginia. But entertaining for sure. Entertaining except for Clint Mosley, the starting quarterback for Auburn, who went out with an injury in the first quarter. So since that time, it's been a combination of Barrett Trotter and Kyle Frazier. And in this case, Trotter with McCaleb on 2nd down and 10. Low snap, play action, Trotter backpedaling, and incomplete. Intended for McCaleb. Cam Johnson was the guy putting the pressure on. Auburn special teams tonight, they have been special. 2 block punts, onside kick that was recovered by the kicker. They stopped a fake field goal by Virginia, and then Quan Bray 62 yards a couple of minutes ago. That's a good night.
Yep. The last third down, they went to Emory Blake, and he dropped the ball. Let's see if they go back to him and see if he makes a play.
On third down, Trotter's in trouble. Got away. Keeps his eyes downfield. Throws across his body and got it to Blake. But he's not going to get to the first down. And flags flying in everywhere. Somebody lost their helmet down by the goal line. I don't know if that's where the penalty was or not.
With
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 1, 15-yard penalty, 4th down.
That was it, Trevon Reed. And he's looking rather innocent on the sideline, but the personal foul changes the complexion of this whole drive, that's for sure. And it's 4th down, back at the 23-yard line. And so instead of what looked like maybe another touchdown after the long punt return, they're going to have to settle for a 40-yard field goal try. Parkey from 45, bad snap. They got the hold down though, and he drilled it.
Sure did.
Wow. Ryan White did a great job with a bad snap. Parkey with his longest field goal of the year. That is a great job by your holder in a hurry. And Conrad got that left hand up there, but not high enough. Could have been worse for Virginia, though, I think. Yep. After the safety and the long free kick return by Bray, Auburn looked like it was heading in the end zone again. As it is, they settle for a field goal. Parkey to kick. Doesn't let many return guys have much fun. Going to be the case again. 8 yards deep. Shepard's like, why am I back here tonight? First things first for the Cavaliers. They got to score. And they've got just over a quarter to try to do something about the 16-point deficit. This kid's been pretty good tonight, though. Michael Rocco, their quarterback. Play action has been his hot spot. Threw into a crowd and got it to Chris Bird.
Well, that's a quarterback who has a lot of confidence in a receiver making a play, even in tight coverage. I mean, you had a linebacker, Jake Holland, there, and a corner, Chris Davis, both in a position to make a play, but Bird comes away with the football. And sometimes with a receiver that's that good, you give him a chance to make a play for you.
You can't tuck it in there much better than that. Gene Chizik said, everybody together. We got 15 more minutes to play, and we will have a bowl victory. Atlantic Zion starting a new tradition here at the Chick-fil-A Bowl at the end of 3 quarters as we are 90 minutes away from 2012. Play action for Rocco. Fires down the middle on a crossing route, and he's got Chris Bird again. Ball came out. It's covered by Virginia.
All night. I mean, run the ball, have some success, then play action off the same look and throw the deep crossing routes most of the time to that guy.
And a good night for Chris Bird, that's for sure. And he's down right there. Came in with 60 catches for 810 yards on the year. Number 2 all-time receiver in Virginia history. Richardson short gain that time. Emory Blake and Chris Bird, 2 main targets for their respective quarterbacks tonight. They both had really outstanding games. For Chris Bird, though, a couple touchdowns. Blake, his catches led to touchdowns.
Yeah. Well, he's a dynamic guy, and you can see the difference that he makes with this offense. Not only catching the ball, but also just being out there, his presence.
Rocco gave it off to Parks, and he's going nowhere. Lemonier and company there to meet the Virginia tailback. Virginia with a huge third down coming up here.
Well, this might even be 2 down territory right here for Bill Lazor. He may be thinking 2 plays to pick up this 12 rather than just 1.
He's certainly saying, let's go. We're wasting time. Rocco hit as he throws, and did he tuck it in there again to Bird? No catch.
Gabe Wright was in there pretty quickly. For the most part, Michael Rocco's had good protection tonight and the ability to step up and throw. This time Gabe Wright's going to get to him right as he's releasing the football, and he's not able to step through the ball and get enough on that pass. The ball clearly hit the ground before it got to Bird.
Well, it's 2 down territory anyway, even though it's still 4th down and a bunch. 4th and 12. And again, the Auburn faithful are making it tough on the Virginia offense. Blitz coming as well. Rocco, ball incomplete. I don't know if it was tipped or if it just wobbled out of his hand, but it didn't have much on it.
Yeah, one way or the other, you're right. It did come out of there looking a little bit different.
He had 2 100-yard games his rookie year, his freshman year, and he's got another one tonight. And now it's Quan Bray, his freshman. Ooh, he got ripped out of bounds. Flags will fly. They'll add 15 on to Virginia's Corey Mosley.
Well, Mosley's been close for a good part of this second half. I mean, he's been involved in a couple
After
things.
the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 7, 15-yard penalty, first down.
A little frustration, I think, on the part of Mosley.
Senior out of Richmond, playing his final game in a Cavalier uniform. So Auburn not only keeps the drive alive, they have a couple good-looking plays, and then pick up 15 more, and they're down in the red zone again. Trey Mason back in the backfield with Trotter. And he's going to get the carry. Brought down by Talaferro. So Auburn will see the clock tick inside the 10-minute mark before they snap it again.
Auburn closing in on their highest point total of the entire season. They scored 42 against Utah State in the opener. That's the most they scored at any game this year. They scored 41 on 2 occasions.
They had to come from behind in that one, that 42-point effort. Tonight they might win this one going away if they can get another touchdown. Frazier brought down for a loss. Eight games last season of 300+ yards rushing. Cam Newton did a lot of that. Dyer did a lot of that. And tonight they got 242 with Gus Malzahn calling his last game as offensive coordinator of Auburn. It's called a good one.
Yeah.
Trotter waiting now, going to take off on his own. He'll not get 18 yards that way, but got back to maybe field goal range.
Well, it's a good decision. You know, you don't do something foolish there. He's done a nice job of taking care of the football. You take a look downfield, it's not there. Get what you can get and set up Parkey for another nice field goal attempt.
Nailed his last one, his season-long 45. This will be a 37-yard attempt for the sophomore. He had a successful onside kick to himself earlier in the ballgame. Plenty of leg on this one, and he does add 3 more. Cody Parkey might put the lead too far in front for Virginia to have a chance. 43-24 Tigers. Well, that guy, I don't know if he's just a youth of a War Eagle parent or if he's a Dick Vitale fan. I'm not quite sure. War Eagle baby. Right now, War Eagles have command of the game unless Virginia can score and score quickly. Cody Parkey not only with an onside kick recovery tonight and a couple of field goals, but he hasn't let anybody return kicks either. That's a nice weapon to have. This one will be returned from the 2-yard line. Shepard Took a lick as he got across the 20 out near the 24.
Well, I think that Mike Rocco has played a pretty doggone good football game today.
Yep.
You know, for this Virginia offense, he's been accurate. He's been on time. He's been in command of the offense. Look at that career night. Of course, a lot of times with quarterbacks, those career numbers come in losing efforts because you're throwing it every down.
His dad's had his eyes closed for half the game. And that one is up in the air and intercepted. Jake Holland, the linebacker, off the tip ball. And Auburn's got it back. Just when we showed that Mike hadn't thrown an interception, this one might not be his fault, but now he has.
A little check down to the back, out of the backfield. It's a little bit behind Parks, but Parks is not able to secure the catch. It gets on his back. He gets hit. It flips up in the air, and Holland comes down with the interception.
Bates made the hit. Holland the interception. And the reaction from mom and dad. And now Auburn's got it back, and they just like to salt away the next 7 minutes here.
So they wanted that 8th win very badly, and they've earned it tonight.
Virginia's players, even the fifth-year seniors who were redshirted, had never been in a bowl game. So it was a great experience for them. They're going to lose it, unfortunately. But for Auburn, they got 40 guys that never been in a bowl game, too. And you forget that part. So there's a lot of youth. And in this case, Virginia being youthful as far as bowl appearances.
And Auburn will continue their bowl winning streak.
Yep.
This will make 5 in a row.
And they will go to 22-13-2 in their 37 bowl appearances. Final 3 minutes. Trotter out in the flat to Bray. Trying to cut back. Got inside the 10 to the 8. Rodney McLeod there to meet him. So I think a little bit more of Bray tonight. And we'll see a lot of him in the future. Kid from Georgia, from LaGrange. And played at Troup County High School, but he's got a tremendous upside. Great speed. And then there's this guy who finally came back healthy tonight. And he'll be a senior next year, Emory Blake. Frazier, Caleb now joining in the backfield. Frazier might get a chance to throw one. Nope, guess not. But he'll run it for close to another first down. And we'll be inside 2 minutes the next time Auburn has to snap the football. And as we said, there's one coach going out. There's one that will be back in the Plains next year to start his 4th season over in the National Championship from a season ago.
Gene Chizik just went over to Gus Malzahn and told him to go for it, too.
It's 4th down and less than 1. Frazier. And that big body of his just got the one. And we don't need a fight in the last minute and a half of the game, guys. And it's 1st and goal, Auburn. So the SEC is going to continue doing pretty well in the bowl season. They're looking for their coach. And that will be the last snap. Still undefeated in bowl games, Gene Chizik.
Still trying to get him.
Well, it took him a long time. They got Gus Malzahn. That's who they were aiming that one at. Good luck, Gus, in your head coaching career at Arkansas State. As he called a beautiful game tonight on offense, Gene Chizik called his own defense. And the SEC prevails over the ACC in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Final score 43-24. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Don't forget, Red Bull New Year No Limits is coming up. For Todd and Holly, Brad Nessler, Happy New Year.